Welcome in, everybody. I'm Noah Castor, and as always, I'm joined by Brandon Hudson and Darren Kinslow, and we are the Benchwarmers. Well, we were at 200 subscribers, and then we lost 2, so the new goal is 200 again. So if you guys, 2 subscribers, that's all we need. So if you haven't subscribed already, please be sure to do so. With that being said,
don't unsubscribe.
And don't unsubscribe.
And tell your friends to don't unsubscribe.
And if you unsubscribe, leave a comment and tell us why you did, because
we're lost in the sauce.
Yeah, we're lost in the sauce. We don't know. With that being said, let's get right into Week 6 of the NFL season. First up, we got the Thursday night game where the Giants team is not showing up. So we got Giants and Patriots. Darren, I'll let you go since this is your team. So.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Patriots here at home. The Giants, even if they did have the players that they're missing, it wouldn't really matter. And, yeah, they've just got pretty much their best weapons that they have are not playing. So I don't think Daniel Jones is going to be able to come into New England against Belichick's defense. There's just no way.
Definitely. Brandon, what do you got?
I mean, to be honest, I thought this was going to be like one of those ones where we just go right down the line. Patriots, no matter what, just down the line. But apparently we're talking about it. No,
I didn't know.
No, I'm going Patriots on this one. I agree with everything Darren says.
I mean, best running back's out, best wide receiver's out, best tight end is out, and Eli Manning, the Brady killer, will not be playing. So, no, Patriots, even if the Giants were fully healthy, Patriots all the way. Next up, we got Panthers and Buccaneers. The Panthers have been doing very well with their backup, and I'm curious to see what they're going to do when Cam Newton comes back, but that's another story for a later date. What do we got, Panthers, Buccaneers?
I'm going to go with the Panthers here. Last time these two teams played, Cam Newton played awful. So I think Kyle Allen's going to be able to come in there, and they've been doing well without Newton. And honestly, when Cam's ready to come back, I still think you stick with Kyle Allen just because they're winning games with him. Keep him in.
Yeah, definitely.
I got Panthers on this one as well. The only way that I see the Buccaneers actually winning this game, to be honest, is if they stop Christian McCaffrey, because right now it's Christian McCaffrey. When you think of Panthers, it's not Cam Newton. I mean, some people might say Kyle Allen, but when I think of the Panthers, it's not QB, it's running back Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, Christian McCaffrey has more yards from scrimmage than the entire Jets offense does.
Yeah.
So that's got to tell you something. Panthers are going to win this one. I don't think the Buccaneers defense is very good, and they're not going to be able to stop Christian McCaffrey. Next up, dumpster fire. Redskins versus Dolphins. Redskins, I guess. I don't know. I don't care. I don't care.
I'm going to go with the Redskins. They're starting Case Keenum this week, but I don't really think it matters. I will not be watching this game, so I'm just going to pick the Redskins because both teams are terrible, but I think the Dolphins are a more terrible team. So,
Brandon, what do you got?
I'm going Redskins.
Redskins. Oh. All right, next up we got Saints and Jags. This might actually be a good game. If Drew Brees was in, I'd say Saints all the way, but who knows? It might be different, but I am going to go Saints. Teddy Bridgewater played very well against the Buccaneers. I think he's going to continue that against the Jags. We don't know what's going on with Jalen Ramsey. They think he's going to play this week, but we just don't know the state of that defense with all the trade talks, so I'm going to go Saints on this one.
Yeah, I'm going Saints. They just have way too many weapons. Even if Jalen Ramsey plays, I still think the Saints are going to be able to win. If they get Kamara, Michael Thomas going, and if Bridgewater plays like he did last week, I think they win this game fairly easily.
Yes, I got Saints on this one as well. I think the Jaguars did play a really good game, though, against the Panthers last week, especially for how good the Panthers actually played last week. Minshew was still able to keep calm and stay in there and still managed to throw some touchdowns, so that's huge for them. But I don't know. The Saints defense is just something else. It's just, it just can't, I can't pick against them.
Yeah, they're a really good all-around team. Next up, we got Bengals and Ravens. Ravens. Yeah, that's about
Ravens.
It. Yeah.
Yep. I think the Ravens, they aren't as good as we all thought they would probably be, considering what we saw from the beginning of the year, but they're definitely a lot better than the Bengals.
Definitely. Next up, we got Seahawks and Browns. Browns coming off a really ugly loss against the 49ers, and then the Seahawks squeaking out that win against the Rams. Seahawks are just playing better football. I don't know if they're more talented, because the Browns have a lot of talent. They're just not playing good football at all, but yeah, Seahawks all the way here.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Seahawks as well. I think Clowney's going to have a good day against that offensive line.
That's a good point.
And Russell Wilson, and through what is this week 6 now?
Yeah.
He's probably going to be the MVP if I had to pick one today. So I think the Seahawks are going to win this one.
Definitely.
Oh, yes, I'm going Seahawks as well on this one. I like the game he played last week. Russell Wilson looks really, really good, especially making the throw to Lockett in the end zone. That was.
Oh yeah,
I just watching that back and forth.
I thought he was throwing it away, and
just the angle he had to throw it at too, with the weird angle, and still managed to get it
awesome.
out. Yeah, I got big respect for Russell Wilson on that play, but I'm gonna go Seahawks on this one.
One of the better games this week, actually these next 2 games are going to be really good. One of the better ones is Eagles and Vikings. The Vikings coming off a big win against the Giants, but still getting back on track, getting Thielen involved. And then the Eagles coming off a win against the Jets. Obviously not that impressive, but they're getting back on track. This one's a tough one. I'm gonna go Eagles. I just trust not Kirk Cousins. I don't trust Kirk Cousins. I trust Carson Wentz more than I trust Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I think the Eagles' defense is going to be able to stop Dalvin Cook, and like you said, I trust Carson Wentz a lot more than I do Cousins.
Yeah.
I'm going back and forth on this one, actually. And I don't know. I really don't. I'm going to go Vikings on this one.
Woo!
I'm going to go Vikings. I think they win. I think with Dalvin Cook, and you're right, they did start picking it up back.
Yeah.
It was the Giants, yes, but that's still a huge win coming back and finally getting all your players to be like, okay, now I'm ready to actually play with Stephon Diggs. It sounds like Stephon Diggs is still, he's back to where he was. He was just he was in that strong head mode where he didn't get the ball. Adam Thielen, I didn't even really actually hear, but actually Adam Thielen wasn't too happy either. It sounded like. Yeah. But now they've hooked up for a touchdown. It's a lot better for them, and you still got Dalvin. I mean, we saw. I thought Dalvin was not going to put up the numbers he did on the Bears, but still managing to put up something is definitely big for them. And I just don't think the Eagles' defense is as good as stopping the run game as we think.
Yeah, that's fair. Next up, we got Texans and Chiefs. I'm surprised this isn't like a primetime game.
I was like, why have the Colts and Chiefs be a primetime game when you can have the Texans and Chiefs?
Yeah, that's true. And then the primetime game Sunday night's going to be Steelers and Chargers, so not going to be that good of a game. Back to the Texans and Chiefs. I'll start off with Brandon since this is your team, both of your teams, honestly. What do you got?
As much as I'd love for this one to just end in a tie, I don't want the tie. I don't want the tie. I don't want the tie. Those
aren't good odds.
No. I mean, right now, these are probably one of my 2 AFC teams that are literally just. I can't pick from. I can't pick, or I can't have them in my top 3, top 5. The Texans, they're definitely shocking me, especially after last week. Deshaun Watson throwing 5 touchdowns, 400 and something yards. I mean, that's just insane. And Will Fuller came out and actually had a good game. I was happy to see that. As much as I'd love to say that they're taking a step back, they're not going to take a step back. This is one team that it's not going to be one of those. It's going to be it's still going to be a high scoring game. It's not going to be a low scoring game for them. They're not going to come out there and just, we're facing the Chiefs, we're going to get blown out. No. They're going to put up a game, and I think the Texans are going to win this one.
This is really hard. I think the Chiefs, they definitely struggled last week against the run game. If the Texans can get the run going, I think they have a good enough team to beat them, but I can't pick the Chiefs. I don't think their weapons are going to fail 2 weeks in a row, especially at home. I've got the Chiefs. I think it'll be fairly high scoring in the 20s, and it'll be a really close game, so...
Yeah, I agree with both of your guys' points. It's going to be a really good game. I'm concerned with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he got off to a really hot start, but against the Lions, he didn't have a passing touchdown, and then the Colts was a rough game. I mean, it's going to be tough. I do think they bounce back at home, even though they lost at home against the Colts. I just don't think the Texans have the personnel up front to beat the Chiefs the way the Colts beat the Chiefs, which is just run it down their throats. I know Carlos Hyde's been having a good season, but he's not the same as Marlon Mack and the boys up front. So I'm going to go Chiefs on this one. It's going to be a very close game, and I would not be surprised if the Texans win this one. Next up, we got Falcons-Cardinals. I'm just going to go Falcons based off of talent. They're not having a good year. I don't know what's going on. Their head coach needs to be fired, but I'll go Falcons based on pure talent.
I'm just going to pick with the Falcons as well for that exact same reason.
Yeah, but I'm going Falcons as well.
Falcons. Another really good game, 49ers and Rams. 49ers coming off against that blowout win against the Browns, and then the Rams really just tough loss against the Seahawks. I'm going to go 49ers. I think that game against the Seahawks is going to stick with the Rams. I think it's going to be hard to come out and be energized after how tough that loss was. So I'm going to go 49ers. I think they're going to stay undefeated through this week.
Yeah, both teams are really good, really talented, and the 49ers have kind of surprised me, honestly. I didn't think they were going to start off 5-0, or I guess 4-0.
Because they had that early bye week,
But, yeah, their run game has impressed me. Garoppolo's playing well. They still have Kittle. I'm going with the 49ers as well. I think, again, kind of going off of what you said with the way that they lost, I don't think they're going to be able to bounce back just quite yet.
Definitely. Brandon, what do you got?
I got 49ers on this one as well.
All right.
I don't really want to say anything about it. It's 49ers on this one. They have too good of a defense right now.
Yeah, they're playing well. Richard Sherman looks like he's getting back to...
Yeah. Nick Bosa just having a go-off game. I mean,
yeah, he looks good. Next up, we got Titans and Broncos. I'll go Titans on this one. Doesn't really matter. These teams are not making the playoffs.
Yeah. I'm going Titans too. Two teams that just seem to not be able to figure out. Just can't get anything going. Yeah. But I'm thinking Marcus Mariota has a pretty good game against Denver, so I'm going Titans.
I'm going Titans as well.
Next up, we got Cowboys and Jets. Cowboys.
Cowboys.
It's pretty easy. Cowboys.
Yeah, Cowboys. Next up, we got Steelers and Chargers. It all depends on if Mason Rudolph plays. If Mason Rudolph plays, I think they might have a chance against the Chargers, especially with how poorly they've been playing. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to go ahead and say Mason Rudolph doesn't play because that was a nasty hit he took. So I'm going to go Chargers on this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go Chargers on this one as well.
I'm going to go with L.A. as well. Almost said San Diego again.
Oh my gosh. It's hard.
I think they'll be able to start getting Melvin Gordon back into the swing of things, too. So, and Phillip Rivers is my streaming quarterback this week. So,
Next up, we got Lions and Packers, Monday Night Football. I'll go ahead and send it over to Darren to start this one.
Yeah, the Packers played really well against the Cowboys last week, so I'm going with Green Bay. I think the Lions have a good team, and I wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Packers, but I don't see it happening on Monday night.
I agree with Darren on that one. Packers on this one, and like he said, I mean, the Packers are playing good, and the Lions is one of those teams that I wouldn't be surprised if they won, but, I mean, the way that the Packers played last week, by the way, if they get that ball to Aaron Jones, look what happens. What I tell them, you guys finally find the run game, and that's what happens.
That's what happens, yeah. Yeah, no, Aaron Jones has more touchdowns than the Jets and the Dolphins combined. So, no, I'm going to go Packers. I don't think they lose at Lambeau Field Monday night, but the Lions have beaten the Packers 4 straight games.
Wow.
Aaron Rodgers hasn't played in 3 of those, but...
Still something.
Still something. 4 straight games. We think of the Lions as a trash team, but they have beaten the Packers 4 straight times. So I think that ends on Monday night, though. I think the Packers are going to take care of business. All right, that does it for Week 6. Like we said, we're at 198 right now. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and then stay subscribed. That's the big thing. Click the bell to keep up with notifications. It's been the Benchwarmers, guys.
Deuces.